Hey everybody, very good to see you all. Taking a break, obviously walking the dog, making sure she gets a little exercise. Obviously have not been able to go through a ton of the documentation out there. You saw us open up and at least gaze at three of the documents there. It seems like a lot of the names that are now coming out are the people that they talk about in this enterprise or this network in the indictment, the employees of Epstein. You have his bodyguard, for instance. You've got quote-unquote assistants, for his instance. And the Ronaldo Rizzo testimony of the 15-year-old Swedish girl who was shaking and crying that we just went over and said that she refused to have sex with Maxwell and Epstein. She was hysterical, and that basically she didn't know how she even got to where she was, which I don't know was exactly clear. Maybe it was in LA, but it could have been in Palm Beach. Actually, it was probably in the Palm Beach residence. Yes. So sorry, we're losing people a little bit. We're trying. 8 people watching, no thumbs up. Come on, give me some thumbs up, guys. Help me share this information. So the big revelation so far I'm seeing the media run with is that now Al Gore has been brought into the mix, but so far nothing sexually. And if you just watch my live stream of a breakdown on some of these documents, you'll know that the names of some of these individuals are still being censored. Let me repeat that. The names of some of these individuals, for instance, that are displayed in evidence on these messages that were left, the infamous 2x8, whether that means a 16-year-old girl or 2 8-year-olds, we don't really know. But other than Jean-Luc Brunel, you can totally see that a lot of it's been censored, and that's upsetting to me. Nope, Karma, you know the deal. Sorry, guys. Got to get her on the inside. She's been wandering lately, this wild beast. So we have that, and if you look at the thumbnail of my last video, you'll see that in the unsealed documentation, they show a censored photograph of what appears to be a prepubescent girl, smiling and showing herself in what is supposedly one of hundreds, if not thousands, of these photographs. Now, as I suspected, as we all know, most of her big name allegations have been out there, right? Well, Trump and Clinton were not part of them. And that's going to be troubling for a lot of these people on both sides. Now, that's not to say that they never partook, but especially in the case of Trump, if you read her testimony, it really clearly says that she didn't see him around at the parties, etc., and that he wasn't partaking in any of this stuff, and that she knew he was a good friend of Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey had told her that. That also being said, what are we doing here? You want to? She's just sniffing. Don't worry. We're going to let her do a little sniffing. This is where the dogs stop. Anyway, also states that Epstein himself was uninterested in her after she was like 18 years old, and that other people looked a lot younger coming in and out. In fact, another one of the employees says that over 100 of these masseuse type characters had come into that residence alone. There's a lot of documentation here, guys. There's a lot to go through. I'm sure Twitter's going to be abound with this. We'll see again what they run with, because the right wants to run with Clinton and the left wants to run with Trump. And the information has now kind of been stifled on that. This is really more focusing on the fact there's no doubt that Ghislaine Maxwell, the daughter of Robert Maxwell, needs to be in prison for the rest of her life. And it's a damn shame that she's not already in prison. Let's be specific, okay? According to the documents we just read, we barely dived into them, okay? Every single one of these accusers, one of these accusers said that Maxwell was his main procurer and pimp. And Guthrie Roberts had a 4 to 6 month training period, according to her, and then was pimped out. Now, I'll tell you what, we got to be fair. There's a very suspicious email from the Mail Online in 2011 to Guthrie Roberts that does suggest that Dershowitz may have been set up, or at least did not have sex with Roberts herself. I don't know. You know, again, we'll see what happens in court. It wasn't her lawyers talking about it. I'd have to see evidence of that. I don't see any evidence that her lawyers led her statements at all. But, you know, Maria Farmer says that she had sex with Dershowitz when she was of age, but he was constantly at that mansion where there were quote-unquote underage models there all the time. And guys, so much documentation to go through. I believe it's courthousenews.com. And we got 37 watching, 10 likes. Thumbs this up, share this thing. Come on, help me out here, guys. We're doing a lot of, this is video number 4. We got an interview with Dylan Avery coming up in less than 2 hours. I think in like an hour and a half or so. Yeah, which is going to be a fun one. Trust me. We're going to do an Ask Me Anything. Remember, his new film is The Miracle Molecule, all about CBD. He just did Black and Blue. And, of course, Loose Change. That's how you know Dylan. Disco Dylan Avery going to be joining me, so check that out. And I think it'll be impossible not to talk about Epstein. I thank everybody who already hit me up in DMs or at messages. I'm telling everybody, if they want the latest big information on those documents, the Daily Beast has already put out a really good article that led me to some keywords where we could go to the documents online. And my boy Big Fish at Trey Billion, if you don't know about Big Fish, he's done some great research and he's at the forefront of this too. So that's where you guys need to be. And the other thing about this is we need people like Whitney Webb. So if you didn't see my interview with Whitney Webb, it felt so rushed, and I had her on for almost 40 minutes. She promised to do 30, but her material on these different apparatuses, links in the deep state network, and how far they go back, okay, to pre-World War II in a lot of these cases, to organized crime. That's how, you know, this robber baron predator class really came about. You know, they just wear suits now and they tell you everything's okay. The methods to their madness are just more technology based. They're not all bootleggers anymore. But don't worry, a lot of them still sell you liquor, other types of drugs. And, you know, some of those drugs aren't pharmaceuticals. Some of those drugs are entertainment in the music industry and the film industry, the way to hypnotize the public. And they got their little mitts in just about everything, from child trafficking to arms dealing. And Webb did just an amazing job. Again, not that I could sum it up, because it's going to take you, you know, 3 solid hours of really reading if you're taking yourself seriously as a researcher to see that stuff. I recommend you not only watch my interview with her, but my breakdowns where I add some stuff. But that first one that kind of brings Roy Cohn into this network of power that even includes the Catholic Church and their little network of demons in the predator class, molesting young boys. J. Edgar Hoover, Meyer Lansky, Sam Rosenstiel. And he's that big connection to Roy Cohn that kind of sets him up into that second article where you can start to learn more and more about Craig Spence and that callboy ring, which seems to connect to Barney Frank and his little buddy Stephen Gottlieb and that prostitution ring. Which brings you to where? Oh, I don't know, the Franklin scandal in Nebraska and Larry King, who's not in jail, and that callboy ring. And then that third article, let me tell you, it gets Donnie Deep State. It starts talking about Ronald Laudner in a way I'd never heard, because I didn't know who the guy was. But it's alleged he's the one that got Epstein that passport we're talking about. And if you want to know the mega connections, the mega network, the mega group that surrounds Epstein, you got to go check it out. So big ups to Whitney Webb for doing that. She was awesome. She's amazing. And guys, I'm going to see everybody on the flip. Remember to thumbs these videos up, share them. Go check out the deep dives. If you're new, join the Burmese Brigade. And like I said, we're going to have Avery on later. I got a GoFundMe. That's how we're doing it. $5, $10, $15, whatever you can spare. Really allows me to dive into these documents and tell you what the mainstream will not. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the flip side.